What happens when Hollywood beauty icons no longer recognize themselves in the mirror? In the race against time, many stars have lost the very marks that made them who they are. Today we confront the dark side of fame. 15 faces, one dream called perfection. Do you feel regret or support? Comment 1 if you regret it. 0 if you see it as personal freedom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow the stories behind the glitz and glamour. Now, let's begin. Amanda Lepore's transformation was not merely a series of physical interventions, but a proud journey of consciousness aimed at overturning outdated definitions of human identity. Instead of accepting the limits imposed by nature in her genetic code, she chose to become a self-made deity, turning her body into a living sculpture in the real world. In Lepore's realm, every contour was not just a biological alteration, but a rebellious stroke on the canvas of existence, where she would rather be an unreal work of art than a pale copy of the masses. By pursuing surreal bodily structures and touches that defied all traditional aesthetic rules, Lepore paid an enormous price far beyond any monetary value. It was a steadfastness of spirit in the face of storms of public opinion and a sacrifice of natural sensations in exchange for an eternal presence in the eyes of the audience. She did not choose to hide or deny. On the contrary, she showcased that extreme difference as a bold declaration of personal autonomy. For this woman, every alteration to her body was a step closer to the ideal version she had envisioned in her mind since youth. Through the discerning eyes of critics, her journey might be seen as a controversial excess, but for Amanda Lepore, it represented the pinnacle of absolute freedom in crafting one's own being. She boldly crossed the boundaries of reality to live fully in a realm built from pure imagination, where there was no room for the mundane. Amanda Lepore's story is not merely a record of appearance, but a profound lesson on the desire to master one's destiny, demonstrating how far a person can go when daring to erase the original nature and rewrite their own definition of existence. In the 1980s, Hollywood bowed in reverence to the ethereal beauty of Mermaid Daryl, an irreplaceable icon of purity amidst the earthly world. She possessed a singular presence where innocent freshness merged with the deep mystery within her piercing blue eyes, creating such a powerful allure that one could believe time itself would halt on her face. At that moment, Daryl was more than just a film star. She embodied the dream of radiant naturalness, an original beauty that no makeup or artificial intervention could ever replicate. Yet behind the dazzling red carpet glamour lies a reality. Harsher than any horror film, the film industry is a relentless forge that never forgives wrinkles or the fading of youth. The invisible but heavy pressure of forever young standards drove the actress into a hopeless chase to freeze her youth beneath layers of chemical masks. Interventions meant to preserve beauty inadvertently became a cruel glass cage, freezing the expressive flexibility that once defined Daryl's signature presence and severing the invisible connection between soul and face, the most powerful language of a truly talented actor. Today, having fully stepped away from the glamorous red carpet spotlight, Daryl has chosen to retreat into nature and embrace the enduring values of existence. Her story is not merely a chapter on beauty, but a profound reminder of a universal truth. True beauty is an ever-flowing current of time. Efforts to halt that flow can become acts of severing the connection to one's own soul, for the most radiant beauty emerges only when one dares to live authentically within the limits of their own mortality. In the 1980s, Pete Burns, the immortal soul of the band Dead or Alive, struck like a lightning bolt against the social norms of the time. He possessed a mesmerizing androgynous style, a perfect blend of sharpness and boundless audacity, making him a unique icon of the vibrant MTV era. At that time, Pete Burns was more than just a singer. He embodied absolute freedom of personal expression, a fiery personality daring to challenge every limit, proving that human existence itself is an exhibition without boundaries. Yet behind that captivating glamour lay a silent and painful battle with his own reflection. It began with a small intention to refine natural features, but the pressure of perfection inadvertently plunged him into an inescapable spiral of over 300 procedures throughout his life. Each new intervention was no longer an attempt to create beauty, but a desperate effort to patch the mistakes of the past, resulting in deep physical damage and financial exhaustion, gradually burying the identity of a legend beneath layers of regret. Pete Burns passed away, leaving a vast void in the art world and a haunting lesson about the cost of losing faith in oneself. His story stands as a painful testament to how far a person can go when swept up by rigid standards and societal illusions of perfection. The legacy he left behind is not only his music, but also a resonant warning when the soul loses its connection to the self. Any attempt to alter the exterior is like trying to rebuild a castle on sand before the relentless waves of time. Unlike vain pursuits, Lil' Kim's transformation journey did not stem from arrogance, but from deep cracks within her soul. After painful events and past traumas, she turned to identity reconstruction as a way to erase unhappy memories, a desperate attempt to build a new fortress of confidence atop the ruins of old self-belief. For Lil' Kim, each change to her face was never merely about beauty. It was an effort to conceal pains that words could never fully express. However, her quest for safety in new features inadvertently led her into a maze with no exit. Successive interventions gradually obscured the natural radiance, the original power that once strongly inspired a generation of black women in hip-hop. Her changing appearance upon closer look reflects a soul striving to heal, yet becoming lost amid alien and harsh beauty standards, where the line between finding oneself and erasing oneself grows more blurred than ever. Today, Lil' Kim's story remains a haunting testament to the struggle between fame and inner insecurity. It shows that when psychological wounds are left unhealed, any effort to change one's outward appearance is like trying to fix a broken rhythm in a song with blinding, discordant sounds. Her legacy lies not only in her chart-topping hits, but also in a valuable lesson about self-acceptance. True enduring beauty does not come from crafting a new face, but from the courage to confront and embrace the scars of the past without hiding them. Once a cultural phenomenon under the stage name Jordan Katie Price, skillfully built a dazzling empire founded on boldness and an unmistakable personality. At the height of her fame, she was not only a model, but also a symbol of freedom and self-mastery in the eyes of the British public. However, the path from being a universally admired sex symbol to a journey labeled by the media as an extreme identity reconstruction became a series of harsh and dramatic chapters where every step carried significant trade-offs. What began as small desires to bolster inner confidence quickly spiraled into an endless loop of grueling, invasive procedures. Katie Price pushed her body to the outer limits of biological endurance, where the line between the aspiration for a radiant life and the illusion of absolute perfection became thinner than ever. These successive interventions were no longer merely about beauty. They evolved into a tense dialogue between personal will and physical limitations, making her journey one of the most shocking cases of identity transformation in modern entertainment history. Today, Katie Price's appearance is no longer a natural creation, but a vivid diary recording each year of her fierce struggle with the obsession for flawless perfection. Her story is not just a document of aesthetics, but a stark warning about a psychological truth when beauty becomes a form of mental addiction. The cost goes far beyond mere financial figures. It is the depletion of inner peace, a testament that without finding fulfillment from within, every effort to reshape the external world will remain an incomplete puzzle. Country music legend Kenny Rogers won millions of hearts not only with his deep, husky voice, but also with his rugged, masculine appearance, a face marked by the traces of a rich tapestry of life experiences. However, under the pressure of maintaining his public image in 2006, he made a decision that permanently altered his iconic look. A single misstep in the attempt to restore youthful eyes unintentionally extinguished the warm, soulful gaze that had become his trademark, replacing it with an unfamiliar expression that left fans stunned. The loss of Kenny's natural balance, the very signature of his appearance, became one of the most regrettable notes in the personal journey of this great artist. Later, Kenny Rogers was remarkably candid in admitting his regret over that 2006 decision, and it was precisely this honesty that further honored his intact musical legacy. His story goes beyond a cosmetic mishap. It stands as a profound life lesson about confronting human finitude. Time may leave marks on the face, but those wrinkles are the truest testament to a life fully lived and embraced with pride. In the early 2000s, Tara Reid emerged like a fresh breeze, the radiant embodiment of the girl-next-door dream for millions of fans worldwide. Yet, from a few hasty decisions aimed at refining minor flaws, her life unexpectedly veered into a dark chapter under the merciless scrutiny of the media. The unsuccessful interventions left her with not only visible physical scars, but also deep emotional wounds, sending a career once at its peak plummeting into the abyss of obscurity. It stands as a painful testament to how a single momentary choice can shake the very foundation of a reputation built over many years. Rising above the harsh scrutiny and cruel judgments of the public, Tara Reid resiliently found the inner strength to rebuild herself from the ruins. Instead of continuing to chase illusory standards, she chose to step back from the spotlight and embrace a quiet life where self-acceptance became the highest value. Her journey delivers a powerful documentary-worthy message. True human beauty does not lie in flawlessness, but shines most vividly in the ability to heal and regenerate after life's turbulent trials. Tara Reid, from a sweet dream to a nightmare overnight. Would you choose to empathize with her scars or mourn a beauty icon that will never return? Share your perspective in the comments below. Press 2 if you admire her resilience in rising from the ruins. Press 5 if you still can't forget this heartbreaking transformation. Don't stop here, because the next story will leave you stunned at the cost of fame and luxury. Hit like and subscribe now so we don't miss the next secrets of Hollywood. Jennifer Grey was once a name that captivated the world through the iconic film Dirty Dancing, yet her allure did not come from a conventional, flawless beauty. Audiences adored her for her distinctive nose and authentic, vibrant appearance features that made Baby an irreplaceable presence on screen. However, faced with the heavy invisible pressures of Hollywood's standardized beauty expectations, she made a fateful decision to undergo a nose surgery in the hope of opening new doors for her career. She could never have imagined that what she once saw as a flaw to be corrected was actually the very key that endeared her to millions of fans. The surgery was so successful that it transformed her into a completely unfamiliar person, leaving even her closest loved ones unable to recognize the muse they once knew. By erasing her unique features in pursuit of perfection, she inadvertently froze her career, leaving the film industry in stunned disbelief. Jennifer Grey stands as the most valuable lesson in identity. Never trade your uniqueness for a flawless copy, because it is often your differences that hold your true value. Do you agree that aging naturally can be a kind of privilege, or do you support cosmetic intervention to preserve youth? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd truly love to hear your perspective on the fine line between self-care and obsession. If you found this video meaningful or gained a valuable new perspective, don't forget to hit like and share it with those around you as a gentle reminder to practice self-love. And finally, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our in-depth documentary pieces exploring the hidden sides of fame and life. Thank you for staying with us until this very moment. Always be confident in being yourself because you are the best version of you. Goodbye and see you again on our next journeys.